Hi, Gary here. Do you want to know what is happening to the Canadian mortgage interest rates? This video is about the Canadian mortgage rate predictions in fall 2024 through 2025. Recently, I did 3 videos about the Bank of Canada's overnight lending rate changes, and this is a follow-up of the changes discussed in those videos and how this is affecting the upcoming mortgage interest rates. I'm going to go over this forecast with you and tell you what the expected rates might be and when. I also have a free handout with all the details. Most of my videos are not this technical, however, we are all interested in what is happening with mortgage interest rates, so bear with me. It's worth knowing this, really. See the large variety of other non-technical real estate topics on our YouTube channel. We are also pleased to announce that this is our 100th video posted on our real estate YouTube channel. We will be running a celebration event shortly with some cash prizes. You can find a link to our contest in the description below and links to our 3 previous Bank of Canada overnight lending interest related videos at the end of this video. So stick around for all the details. You may wonder how lenders set their mortgage rates. The Bank of Canada, Federal Crown Corporation, and Canada's Central Bank is tasked with promoting the economic and financial welfare of Canada. It formulates Canada's monetary policy and regulates Canada's financial systems like banks, trust companies, and credit unions. It does this by monitoring the Consumer Price Index and then setting the target overnight lending rates, which affect lending institutions' prime rate and mortgage rates. For variable rate mortgages, these are set at either a discount for low risk clients or a premium for higher risk clients from the lending institution's prime rate. The prime rate is related to the Bank of Canada's target overnight lending rate. Using this rate, the Bank of Canada suggests to banks who lend their surplus Canadian dollars, which is also known as cash, to other banks for very short periods. If the target overnight lending rate is too high, this can then reduce the supply of money in the market, and this can make mortgage interest rates more expensive. And if the overnight rate is too low, then this may generate a surplus of cash in the market, possibly leading to lower mortgage interest rates as this surplus is lent out. The banks don't earn any money when their cash is simply sitting in their vaults, so they have a big incentive to lend this money out. The Bank of Canada sets the target overnight lending rates 8 times a year. There are 2 more Bank of Canada overnight rate announcements in 2024 after this video was released. These are October 23rd and December 11th, so watch for those. The longer 5-year fixed term and fixed rate mortgage amounts are based on the Canadian 5-year bond yield rates. We can see how much the Bank of Canada overnight lending rates has changed over the 90-year period from 1935 to 2024. Notice that the highest rates were in 1981 and the lowest in recent years. When I bought my very first house in 1986, my mortgage rate was 11 1/8%, so I have personally seen a lot higher rates than today. I have a lot more data on the rate changes and we'll do another video sometime if there's any interest. If you are interested, then put a note in the comments below. Let's now look at the mortgage rate forecasts. This forecast comes from the BC Real Estate Association. Note this information is copyright with the British Columbia Real Estate Association and is reprinted with permission. BC REA makes no guarantee as to the accuracy or completeness of this information. With the Canadian mortgage rates falling with the Bank of Canada in early stages of deep policy rate reductions, the key question for mortgage rates going forward is where the Bank of Canada is going to stop. Fears of a weaker than expected U.S. economy have pushed markets to expect a more aggressive cutting cycle in Canada and the U.S. With bond yields falling to 2.75%, this implies that markets are currently pricing a Bank of Canada overnight rate of 2 to 2.25%. If this does not reverse, then it is expected that this could drive Canadian fixed mortgage rates even lower. If the economy shows signs of weakening in 2025 rather than rebounding as the bank is currently forecasting. If this does not reverse, then it is expected that this could drive Canadian fixed mortgage rates even lower if the economy shows signs of weakening in 2025 rather than rebounding as the bank is currently forecasting. The table above shows the mortgage rate actuals for 2024 quarters 1 to 3 and forecasts for quarter 4 and all quarters in 2025. This shows by the end of 2024 that the variable rate at 5.3%, the 5-year average discounted rate at 4.5%, which is the rate for low-risk clients, and the mortgage qualifying rate for new mortgages at 6.5%. This includes the federal government's 2% stress test amount added to the discounted mortgage rate. For end of 2025, the variable rate at 4.35%, the 5-year average discounted rate at 4.85%, and the mortgage qualifying rate for new mortgages at 6.85%. So perhaps the end of 2024 rates will be slightly lower than forecasted for the end of 2025. It's expected that the bank's rate cuts will stimulate a stronger economic activity, prompting the 5-year mortgage rates to settle around 4.85% as mentioned previously. Now, will rates go lower? Some analysts, including me, think that mortgage rates will come down even more to around 3% for 5-year term fixed rate mortgages, but only time will really tell. The BC REIA report provides the economic outlook and the Bank of Canada outlook as well. So what do we expect the Bank of Canada will do later this year into 2025? This is summed up by them as gradual rate cuts expected as long as inflation stays on course. If you want to view the full report, then you will find a link to this in the description below this video. So how do we use this information? Well, the best way for you to find out what your mortgage interest rate would be in your situation is for you to ask your realtor to recommend an excellent, knowledgeable mortgage broker. They will take your details and give you options and rates for your mortgage. Everyone is different, and your situation will determine your best rate. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is our 100th release video on our YouTube channel. We produce these informational and educational videos to provide timely information for all persons buying and selling in the Greater Victoria real estate market, not just our own clients. We are happy to have reached this milestone of 100 videos, and to celebrate, we will have a draw with a number of cash prizes. See the draw link in the description below, and good luck! If you are interested in viewing any of the recent Bank of Canada overnight lending rate videos and their effects on the market, then you could see the links right here. Please share with a friend, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you will know when the next video is available. With this help from you, we can continue to make videos for you. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.